Japan, land of neon cities and ancient legends. But to understand it, you have to go way back, thousands of years, to the Jomon people, hunter-gatherers who made some of the world's oldest pottery. They thrived in harmony with nature, laying the first cultural foundations. Around 300 BC, the Yayoi arrived from the mainland, bringing rice farming, a total game-changer. Rice cultivation meant bigger villages, social hierarchies, and the birth of organized society. This shift set Japan on a path toward powerful clans and eventually a unified state. And then come the myths. Emperor Jimmu, said to descend from the sun goddess Amaterasu, supposedly founded Japan in 660 BC. Whether he was real or not, the legend gave Japan a divine origin story, cementing the emperor's spiritual role. These stories, mixed with archaeological finds, created a powerful national identity. The legend of Jimmu unified the people, linking emperor, land, and destiny. This blend of myth and history shaped Japan's spirit for centuries. The belief in a unique divine heritage has always been there, quietly guiding Japan's journey, and that's how the roots of Japan's identity took hold. Fast forward, Japan enters the age of the samurai. These elite warriors served powerful lords, living by Bushido, loyalty, courage, and honor above all. Samurai life was strict and often brutal, but it forged a unique code that shaped the nation. As clans battled for power, real authority shifted from the emperor to the shogun, the military ruler. The first shogunate emerged in the 12th century, launching centuries of samurai rule. The Sengoku, or Warring States period, saw relentless conflict until three unifiers, Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa, brought order. Tokugawa Ieyasu's victory at Sekigahara in 1600 unified Japan, founding a shogunate that would last over 250 years. The samurai era ended open warfare, but the legacy of Bushido endured. The sword's shadow lingered, shaping Japan's character long after the battles ceased. A new, isolated chapter was about to begin. With Japan unified, Tokugawa Ieyasu slammed the doors shut. Enter Sakoku, the era of isolation. Foreigners were expelled, Christianity was banned, and only a tiny Dutch outpost could trade in Nagasaki. Travel abroad was forbidden. The class system was rigid, samurai on top, merchants at the bottom. Life became orderly and predictable, designed to prevent chaos, but isolation didn't mean stagnation. Samurai became bureaucrats, cities like Edo boomed, and arts like kabuki and ukiyo-e flourished. Peace allowed culture to blossom, tea ceremony, flower arranging, and more. Japan perfected its own traditions, untouched by outside influence. Yet, by the mid-1800s, foreign ships appeared on the horizon, ready to shatter the bubble. Change was coming, whether Japan wanted it or not. In 1853, Commodore Perry's black ships forced Japan to open its doors. The shogunate, powerless against Western technology, signed humiliating treaties. Young samurai, outraged, rallied to restore the emperor and modernize Japan. After a brief civil war, the Meiji Restoration of 1868 put Emperor Meiji in charge. The new leaders launched a whirlwind transformation, abolishing the samurai, building a modern army, and adopting Western systems. Factories, railways, and schools sprang up. Western fashion became the rage. In just decades, Japan leapt from feudal isolation to industrial power. National pride and urgency fueled this rapid change, but newfound strength would soon lead Japan into global conflict. The stage was set for a turbulent 20th century. With its new power, Japan turned outward, seeking empire, resources, and prestige. Victories over China and Russia shocked the world, fueling nationalism and militarism. By the 1930s, the military dominated government, pushing Japan toward war. The invasion of China in 1937 and the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 plunged Asia and the Pacific into chaos. Japan's empire expanded rapidly, but fierce Allied resistance turned the tide. Relentless bombing and fierce battles devastated Japan. In August 1945, atomic bombs destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Facing annihilation, Emperor Hirohito surrendered. Japan was left in ruins, cities destroyed, empire lost, people demoralized. Allied occupation followed, the military disbanded, a new constitution written, and the emperor renounced divinity. Japan hit rock bottom, forced to rebuild from scratch, but out of the ashes, a new Japan would rise. Post-war Japan was devastated, but what followed was extraordinary. With American aid, a focus on education, and relentless hard work, the economy revived. Military spending was redirected to industry and infrastructure. By the 1960s, Japan's economic miracle was underway. Sony, Honda, and Panasonic became global icons. Japanese manufacturing set new standards for quality and innovation. The Walkman, bullet trains, and just-in-time production revolutionized industries worldwide. Cities were rebuilt, incomes soared, and life expectancy climbed. Japan became a technological and economic powerhouse without military might. The samurai spirit lived on in factories and labs, driving perfection and progress. It was one of history's greatest comeback stories. Today, Japan is a dazzling blend of ancient tradition and cutting-edge modernity. Zen gardens and neon-lit cities coexist, reflecting a unique cultural balance. Japanese culture, sushi martial arts minimalist design, has global influence. Anime, manga, and video games like Mario and Zelda captivate millions worldwide. But Japan faces challenges, an aging population and economic stagnation. Still, resilience and innovation remain at its core. Japan leads in robotics engineering and medical technology, always adapting. Through wars, disasters, and reinvention, Japan's spirit endures. It honors its past while boldly shaping the future. That's the enduring brilliance of Japan.